Every day I paint you more, I play you more, I fix you more, because I love you, mi amor. Every day you inspire me, and sometimes you disgust me, because I know within you rests this incomprehensible, beautiful you, for which I have toiled for years to extract, only to scratch the surface. Every day I play your melody and search for harmony. I try to find a way to add beauty to you and come closer to your purest, simplest essence. But there are days of thankless toil and utter devotion, peering through bleary eyes, fending off exquisite dreams, only to be met by resistance, devastating resistance, until I return to you seconds, hours, or days later. Seconds, hours, or days, and I am wooed again by your enchantment. I wrote that poem called Every Day while making the song I'm about to play for you. This song is an original piece. It's called Millard County Jail, and it's one of my grandmother's favorite tunes. In Mexico, my name's Jose, no sé Joe. From Miller to Baker, sugar cheeks are waiting to behold. 99 miles are sugar plum, for dainty feet know how to gun. 21, left 50, I wave my hips, then something hit me up. Downwind from Green River, rest my face with Robert Decker. Diablo del camino, siempre en mi corazón. ¿Dónde están los pantalones? ¿Dónde está el dolor? Dimples are salvation, for men lack inspiration. Back in Mexico, my name's Jose, no sé Joe. Like rivers of glory, sacred sacrums of forevermore. ¿Dónde está mi chepeto? Alagreto, con cafeto. Glory, hallelujah, we're back for dear. Have you ever thought about what it means to create? How do we do it? Why do we do it? Creativity is something we all possess. It's not something artists have a monopoly on. Doctors, generals, engineers, janitors, ambassadors, yoga masters, we're all artists. Living is an act of creation, and we are at every moment creating the story of our lives through our thoughts, through our actions, through our relationships, through our work. And one key ingredient that helps us harness and manifest this creativity is awareness. Awareness that we're surrounded by inspiration and opportunity in all that we love, in all that we overlook, and in all that we despise. Over 2,500 years ago, the great Buddhist teacher Aghtsk said, "The greatest achievement is selflessness. The greatest quality is seeking to serve others. The greatest act is not conforming with the world's ways, and the greatest precept is continual awareness." I'd like to talk with you a bit about creating my first album of original music, Pushkin Street, and what it taught me about change through awareness and urgency. I started to play guitar at the age of 12, and soon after I found myself playing in bands throughout high school and college. And while I loved the connectivity and fellowship of creating music with my friends, I often grew frustrated in the writing process. Not because I lacked ideas, but because my ideas were often considered unconventional, unorthodox, and extravagant. I had this propensity to write curveballs into the predictable templates that structure most song forms. So for example, a typical song will have a verse followed by either another verse, a bridge, or a chorus. My recommendations usually entail that after a verse, the entire band play the same note 11 times in unison, and then everybody freezes for 3 seconds, and then we all scream, and then we continue the song as usual. And needless to say, my musical ideas were often cast aside. So as I studied music over the years, I was both exhilarated and irritated by the rules of music. While technical ability and theoretical knowledge were necessary to play music, the infinite nature of studying these precepts sometimes stifled my imagination. So I would change the rules, and sometimes I would find a chord that was very beautiful, and I would just improvise on that chord to discover new territory. Last year, I went to Sevilla, Spain for 1 week to study flamenco guitar, and there I discovered this really beautiful chord, which is the anchor, or centerpiece, of a flamenco song form called segurias. And there's a very technical way to play this chord in the flamenco tradition, but I just love the chord. I found it to be very mystical and beautiful, and it was basically an A chord, which is very simple. Everyone plays the A chord, but you add an A sharp, and now you're in a different world. And so I just started to play around with this chord and discovered this beautiful melody. Just like that, I discovered how beautiful things can happen when we deviate from the rules. Over the years, I started recording these ideas onto my computer. And sometimes they were long melodies, sometimes they were just a few notes, and sometimes I wrote poems. I was very fortunate to continue finding myself in inspirational circumstances, from bicycling across America, to walking across Spain, to marking hiking trails on the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. I found there lacked no shortage of inspiration to stimulate my awareness and expression. I moved back home to Baltimore a few years ago with a mountain of ideas, a desire to play, but nobody to play with. My friends were busy with other bands, girlfriends, graduate school, jobs, life, etc. And I had all these ideas, and I was alone. And I would sit around tinkering with them, wondering what to do, and something just clicked. I had been writing music and poetry for over a decade, and suddenly felt this urgency telling me that if I don't make a proper album now, it's never gonna happen. A trip to Armenia last February for 1 week sealed the deal for me. I came to visit friends. It was my second time in Armenia since doing Birthright, and unexpectedly I had the opportunity to perform live music on Pushkin Street. And that really deepened my appreciation for what Armenia is and what Armenia can be and how I can be connected to that. Since returning my third time, this continues to happen. I keep meeting people and seeing projects and learning about new things that deepen my appreciation for what Armenia is and what it has the potential to be. And I think many of us are in this room today because we all sense a certain urgency surrounding this country. Urgency, from my experience, evolves from an understanding that the status quo is unsustainable. In my case, the status quo was a decade-long process of writing music and poetry without making anything of it. That had to change. And I think in the case of Armenia, many of us recognize the unsustainable status quo of Armenia, from political assassinations to electoral fraud, to environmental degradation, to the abuse of women, joblessness, a hostile region. These are just a few of the issues that stand before us in a colossal fashion, and it will continue to require every ounce of our persistence, of our awareness, of our collaboration and mutual respect to face these challenges and try to bring about the kind of change that Armenia can benefit from, and to bring about the kind of mindset whereby we remain open to the lessons that Armenia has to teach us. Making an album taught me that creativity is a lot more than having an idea. Creativity is having the courage to believe in yourself, to believe in your idea, and that it's worth spreading despite the hesitation. Sylvia Plath hit the nail on the head when she said that the greatest enemy of creativity is self-doubt. I like to say that art unshared is dust. Creation equals awareness plus urgency. Change is indeed the only constant, and like a river, life constantly flows, and at the end of the day, we're faced with two simple choices. Either we create the change, or the change creates us. And so, as I bid you farewell with one more song, I hope we can all share a moment to reflect upon what it is about this life, about this country, and about this world that evokes urgency and the steps we do or do not take to act on this urgency. This song is called Sitting. It's one of the first songs I ever started to write over a decade ago. And it's about a character who's sitting in a county jail waiting for someone to come and save him, to pay his bail. His sense of awareness and urgency are eroding, and this song is a snapshot into that desperation. Sitting in the county jail, waiting on you to pay my bail. But I don't think you're coming soon, so I'ma have to learn to just enjoy this room, 'cause I'm sitting in the county jail, waiting on you to pay my bail. Well, there's a guy, a roach, I'm up on the wall. He's the biggest damn roach that you ever saw. He's got 15 eyes and a really back, and every time I turn my face, well, he pulls it right back, 'cause I'm sitting in the county jail, waiting on you to pay my bail. Oh, won't you free me before I lose my faith in what is free? The love you could not share beyond the island in your arms to reach me, singing this old dusty song. in the county jail, waiting on you to pay my bail. But I don't think you're coming soon, so I'm gonna have to learn to just enjoy this room, 'cause I'm sitting in the county jail, waiting on you to pay my bail. And so I throw my hands up to the sky, I'm calling on God so I can lay down and die. But my feet are aching and my hands are loose, and I don't think you're coming soon.
Bravo.